their strength is once again a very real possibility here.
Yeah, I think this is, interesting that teams, it looks like, have had enough of Nuno and Willem.
Yeah,
It's like, can we just not? Let's just not do that today. Okay, it's the last day over here in the group stages. Rafa, what do you think of our pick so far?
I want to see more Nuno gameplay. But obviously the
Yeah.
teams don't, because they are tired of not allowing for 50-50 Baron or Dragon flips, but also how easy it is for Nuno to just come in and steal objectives away from you, because you can't beat the smite. Now, Alliance, they are going for ultimate lockdown. They have a lot of Galio synergies coming in, either Assault and Battery into Heroic Entrance or Hextech Ultimatum into Heroic Entrance. Now, the thing is, Alliance, you need to combo this with some damage follow-up, because Vi and Camille and Galio is not going to be enough damage on its own, especially if EVOS are able to opt. Okay, I like that.
You know what's happening here? We're going to see it again, by the way. The roll stop is coming in again. I feel like every time we see Ashe, it's not going to be Raven that plays Ashe. Doesn't fit his identity as a player. I think it's going to be Veki playing Ashe, and they're going to do a bit of a cheeky role swap once again. But EVOS Esports, what is this? It seems like since the roles are revealed, they want the Renekton and Camille matchup. Oh, sorry, they want the Fiora and Camille matchup. They're confident to take the skill check. That means it's going to be Renekton against Vi in the jungle. Now, I have to say though, what I don't like about the last two picks from Alliance is that you lock in on one identity, which is you have to go in. You have to dive them. I would have liked to see a bit more wave clear from them, and for them to play into a strategy that allows them to use the split push a little bit more, because you do not want to be diving into the Ziggs, into the Braum. It's going to be a very difficult scenario that Alliance find themselves in, and if Tipper on this Fiora ever finds a lead, I think the game's just over.
Yeah, Rafa, what do you think about the draft that we have?
You know, I'm not convinced if this is going to be a Fiora in the Baron lane, because I know we've seen a Fiora being swapped into the jungle role in the past.
Yeah, you're right.
I haven't really seen Renekton jungle quite yet, so
right,
I guess we'll...
Yeah.
Okay. No, but you're completely right, though, Omo. Valdez can always get accelerated on this Fiora and then just become a potent split push threat that Alliance don't know how to deal with in the later parts of the game.
Yeah, and they will have a more dominant
they...
Baron lane matchup as well.
Yeah, we'll see indeed if Alliance can manage to pick up on that as the battle of the veterans begins here in the Rift. Alliance versus EVOS. Casters, over to you guys.
And what a matchup it is. I love what we left that desk on, Riku, because Valdez and Jelson are two of the most dangerous junglers in this competition.
I have to agree with you there 100%, with contrasting play styles. Whenever, we get to see Valdez, incredibly flashy, early game-centric jungler. Meanwhile, for Jelson, even during the Wild Rift Icon series during summer, he has been that setup, that tank for the squad, has been spamming Jarvan for during the summer season, now falling into this Vi, which is... basically providing that big single target, providing that possible delivery system of this hero's entrance coming from CWJ, or even to set up for Raven, which is going to be very interesting because this is a swap of roles as well. Raven back in the mid lane. Ozora Veki has been, this veteran player has been playing multiple roles throughout his career, back on League PC, came from the jungle, mid, 80 carry, and now the flexibility of Alliance is just really nice to watch.
So in the mid lane, pulling out the Ashe, Raven swapping to this Diana. The Ashe will very likely spend most of the game down towards that 80 carry position. As they do make the swap that Omo was actually talking about on the desk, just to character comfort. But it's that flexibility you were talking about, Riku. Anyone can play anywhere, anytime.
Exactly. We saw Raven back at the 80 carry role yesterday. Now it's back to default settings. Especially Raven has been playing mid lane almost for the entirety of his career back in League PC days. And right now, though, we get to see, again, this veteran matchup, G4 versus Raven, which is... because of the matchup, it's pretty non-interactive, so I'm excited to see Valdez, most importantly as well, how he's able to propel the game, especially early right now. There's a skirmish.
Yeah, Rich starts this, weirdly enough. Chelsea will be protected by a big taunt, and Rich has to flash away. Valdez onto the front lines, finds CWJ, forces another flash. He's over the wall. 1v3. Valdez surely left too far, but he's able to slide away. And Raven with no HP disengages. Ozoreveki finds 2 kills. Now threatening Cat Satan. Flashes over the wall to chase. Cat Satan turns the table. Ozoreveki doesn't win this. Oh, he does. Raven saves the day. And Alliance go 3 for 1 in a crazy brawl, opening game number 1 of this series.
2 minutes in, TJ. That's just 2 minutes in. Ozoreveki gets an early game triple kill, and that is definitely not going to bode well for the side of Cat Satan and Rich, considering the fact that, again, Kai'Sa matchups are very scary just because of how little range you have. You get easily poked out and punished by a lot of these, well, some of these oppressive AD carries. Ozoreveki with a volley. You got, you know, the Xayah and the Varus matchup, so it's all up to Rich to see if he can protect this lane, especially Jelson already lingering around.
Oh, deep dive in. Rich called out. Jelson does find the kill. CWJ gets the credit, but, you know, he's a Galio. He's living his best life.
Yeah, especially, you know, the passive is just going to easily get that big auto attack on. Big burst, I suppose.
I do it all the time. I don't mean to. Just playing support, I'm stealing some kills.
The support life. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, actually.
It's a great thing for me. It's more gold. I don't know about anyone else. There's a little bit more gold found on the map in this bottom lane as Jelson and Ozoreveki take 2 turret plates. And in the river, we actually saw a flash burned, I believe that was by SSK to stay alive as he was threatened by Valdez.
Which is very important to get an escape tool because, again, a Camille is going to have a hard time disengaging from the fight in general just because Alliance, the composition itself, is a pretty all-in type of composition. So we'll have to see how Raven is able to initiate in these fights with the Moonfall, followed by, rather being initiated by Jelson and being to make sure that Raven stays alive with the Moonfall setups. You follow that up with that hero's entrance. So they're using basically the Venn diagram combo, which was coined by Autaluz there on the, I believe, the Filipino broadcast, the local broadcast. And yeah, Venn diagram, hero's entrance, Moonfall into the Hextech ultimatum.
And I love that. He explained it to me when we were doing some work off stream. But just the idea that you have so many circles, you got a Venn diagram, you can put things in the middle. I love it. We do have this Rift Herald coming up here. The Rift Herald and the first Drake both up simultaneously as Raven struggles to stay alive. The arrow goes wide, but Thipper will go down. In the meantime, topside, Cat Satan barely survives an experience thanks to the aid of Valdez. SSK ultimately trades out 1 for 1. All of the gold for that bot lane turret, the first turret break of the game, does go on to Jelson. And Jelson will sweep up here and take the Drake as well. EVOS trade turret for turret, taking the top turret, and they will trade objective for objective as well, taking that Rift Herald in short time.
Yeah, EVOS Esports are going to accelerate this game. They're going to open up the map really, really fast because not only did they get First Blood Tower without the assistance of the Rift Herald, they also can use the Rift Herald to open up mid. And the fact that G4 is on a zig, so the tower taking of EVOS Esports at this point of the game is going to be completely dangerous. And I believe Omo, Rafa has mentioned, rather, when it comes to the big wave clear, it's going to be worrying. You got Winds of War, you've got the Volley, perhaps, but you've got Raven as well. But at the same time, it's going to be difficult versus the Ziggs' wave clear and or taking potential.
Valdez jumps into the front line, scaring away Alliance. But Alliance will play defense across the map. And as you say, this, you know, is a moment where EVOS are trying to accelerate the game state. So it's all very good for Alliance, as they can keep the skirmishing over on the EVOS side of the map, which is what they're trying here. Arrow, wow! Across the map, will find the kill. And Thipper's just gone. A very big shutdown onto a Renekton.
Yeah, beautifully done. This is the roaming 3-man squad where all the Venn diagrams are going to come together. And Ozoreveki will be that big initiator from flying across the map with the enchanted crystal arrow. And this works well because you can stay mid, guard the wave to make sure G4 can't get chip damage on the tower, and then yet you can still be pretty much involved in these skirmishes.
G4. It's maybe an inch, maybe a millimeter in front of SSK there. Doesn't get stunned up as a result. Probably worked out very well for SSK, and Thipper will go down on the top side of the map during that time. So SSK doesn't overcommit. They do find another kill onto the Renekton. All things going well for Alliance.
Yeah, and this is probably the complete opposite of expectations right now. EVOS, again, is the Summer Super Cup champions. They were able to just get early game domination when it comes to most of the matchups, actually. But this time around, they're playing towards late game. You know, Cat Satan's going to scale up, including G4 as well. Especially Ziggs later on is going to be incredibly painful. And that is the window that Alliance recognizes. They can have this window, take advantage of it, try to set up these dives. They have CWJ on this Galio. They have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow for the side lane setups. And if the game continues to progress in an accelerated amount in favor of Alliance through kills and dives, EVOS Esports can be in trouble.
Deep dive here. G4 in trouble. Here come the Venn diagrams. G4, flash away. He lives. And here's the pressure on the return. Massive mega in front of him. Moonfall to clean up the kills. Killer Instinct out. Will not be able to find anything. Cat Satan at the back of this fight, still waiting for the time. I'm waiting for him to deploy, but he's playing defense, and so Alliance escape with all their members. EVOS trade 1-for-1 in the middle of the map.
Yeah, that could have been dicey there. G4 could have suffered there, as the kill and the damage basically wasn't enough. One auto attack away from that, and G4 was still able to land a Mega Inferno Bomb into that fight and still deal and finish off the kill on towards the Galio. And I feel like, you know, could have ended even more disastrous, but I feel like EVOS Esports played that fight really well, despite being behind when it comes to the damage department.
Yeah, I really thought Cat Satan was going to recommit there. I was waiting for that Killer Instinct, but they're just playing for the late game. No risks taken, no risks needed, I suppose. So this may change that. The Infernal Drake coming up, Riku.
Very important. Taunt. Arrow.
Rich holds the front line. The shield holds a lot of the damage. Valdez tries to find an angle round the side and has to kite away. Thipper in the meantime. Cat Satan will escape. Killer Instinct gets him out. Barely over the wall. Flash back in. They've got the kill onto SSK. And CWJ can't find anything.
Double
He's blown
kill.
up by the Cathian Ray. Cat Satan 1 HP and burning, but he survives. EVOS turn the game in a massive team fight in the river.
No way. How does Cat Satan survive out of an aggressive Killer Instinct and the fact that he was just 1 HP already? Alliance had no finishers, had no way to finish off the kill. Let's take a look at that again. It all started with Alliance's Death Brush, but they focused all their efforts towards Rich. He is still pretty much very tanky, and it was pretty much messy because Alliance didn't have that target prioritization in the entire fight. EVOS just basically backed away, tried to reset the fight, burned cooldowns, and basically once all the cooldowns from Alliance were off, it was just big collapse coming from the side of EVOS.
Yeah, what a team fight there. EVOS managing to keep their carries alive. The Cat Satan lasting that entire time. G4 getting maximum value out of his major cooldown rotations at the very start of the fight. And it just adds up. Even an Alliance who's been playing really well recently can't keep up with that kind of team fight.
Yeah, when it comes to downtime where Alliance can roam around the map, find picks here and there, this is where they can find success. But when it comes to the team fights, that is a big, big problem.
And so much of Alliance's pick... Did Jelson just take all of those honey fruit?
I think he did.
Oh, Sravaki needed it. He's got low mana and low HP.
Justin says, you're going back to base anyway. You're going to buy items, right? You don't need this honey fruit. Thank you.
Well, maybe he could have stayed if he'd had a honey fruit.
Yeah, that is very true.
Getting flashbacks to my games. I was just about to talk about how Jelson was such a good addition to this roster, Riku. But I feel like the point's moot. You're in charge.
I guess it's one of those things, you know, I'm going to set up for the team. I take this honey fruit. I need to stay in my own jungle still. Yeah.
He backs as well eventually. Jelson getting his second major item. And something to watch here. We don't normally pay too much attention to Vice. SSK here will go down. We don't normally pay too much attention to Vice because they tend not to do massive damage. But Jelson has so much gold poured into him throughout this game. And he's been such a key player for this iteration of the Alliance roster. Here's the set play. Valdez steps in. Jelson deploys onto Rich, just trying to get away. They didn't find the target they want, and they're going to lose CWJ as a result. The EVOS gold lead continues to grow as they chew through kills and turrets.
Yeah, that's 7K gold lead already. We talked about the big wave clear that they're gonna really lack in that aspect, and we're seeing that now. And so far, EVOS have been planning all of these deep vision on the side of Alliance's jungle, so they gotta be careful. Alliance has to be careful because they do have their own death roaming squad in the form of Tipper, Valdez, and of course Rich in assistance to provide that CC to hold people down. And again, this is Valdez on the Fiora. He has constantly been utilizing this pick during the early stages of the Summer Super Cup to the point his success in this champion has been feared to the point that every single time people meet up with EVOS, they have decided to just play safe and ban it out. And so far, again, that threat is being seen on towards this fall season.
Yeah, dominant performance by Valdez in this game. And kind of a return to form for an EVOS that lost a very strange series. They lost to Divine just off of kind of early game pressure. Valdez got shut out of the game. And it set a very weird tempo for Alliance, who were supposed to be the top team here. We'll go for a play here, bait out an ult, trade essentially ult for ult. And it's good for anyone who's, you know, hoping for at the very least good Wild Rift. See the Summer Super Cup champions returning to this kind of form.
Yeah, there's a lot of high expectations for this team, especially their massive experience rather, coming from G4 in the mid lane. Raven, though, might be in trouble. Going in.
Dive in, engaging with Moonfall, and Cat Satan's forced into stasis, will not be taunted, able to flash ahead of the play. Jelson's chasing Cat Satan up top, and he can't find the kill. Cat Satan turns it, and down bottom, SSK finds one, and that is all. That is the only kill that Alliance got in that fight. As EVOS hold strong, get 3, and now burn down the mid lane.
And they lack the Venn diagram now. No Galio, no Raven. It's just a circle coming from SSK. Well, not exactly a circle. Is it a hexagon?
Like a
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Now it's a siege time.
Sure. Goodbye, sir. Siege time is over. I like that. That was like a little bit of a Mario voice almost, Rika.
Is it
now?
Now
it's a siege time.
It's siege time.
That's not what Mario sounds like. That's Chris Pratt's Mario. As they announced the new movie casting, Riku's playing Mario.
You know what? I actually don't get to play Mario as much. I apologize.
Really?
It's a new thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Drake's coming up. EVOS will be trying to just put their finishing touches on this game as they've kind of dominated Alliance, Riku.
Yeah, at first it looked pretty convincing for Alliance, but they weren't able to snowball the game in time till EVOS's composition has come online. And again, it's these small windows of opportunity for Alliance to take advantage of when there's downtime, when there are no objectives off of the map is where this composition shines. But for team fighting, it's a little bit difficult. Most of your abilities your ults are very single target focused. And look at this, the Death Rush, hoping that Tipper will
I was watching it on the minimap. Tipper was like clearing the way. Oh. Here we go! Hextech Ultimatum, Moonfall, Taunt, he's dead! Woo! Turret's gone though, so
It's the Venn diagram all together on all those 3.
that was everything that EVOS had. In the meantime, this turret's just gonna go down, and inhibitor broken. Alliance reset, and EVOS full press in. Mega Inferno Bomb will not finish off Ozureveki as he drops into stasis, but Valdez will deep dive and find the kill, resetting the Grand Challenge, giving him a burst of HP to turn around and take this fight. Chase on to CWJ. Valdez dominates, holding the front line. Here's the split push, though, all the way on this side lane. A TP back now, an inhibitor under threat, as CWJ is rejoined by Jelson, rejoined by Raven, returning from their side lane shove. And can we get a camera on those minions in the top lane? Because that turret, I think it's going to die. It's incredibly low. Have the minions stopped attacking it?
Well, Tipper is already arriving through the scene, so it's looking to be... Yeah, it's looking to be saved.
Baron underway here by EVOS. A dive in from SSK. Venn diagram in full effect, but CWJ's already gone. And yet again, Valdez holds the front line. Cat Satan cleans up the kills. And Jelson's running for his life. He'll have 3 players to save this game with against 2 broken inhibitors. And is enough that EVOS back away, turn towards this Baron.
Yeah, no Raven, no CWJ there, so there's no big setup anymore. All they have are single target CCs, and EVOS can comfortably take this for themselves.
So there is the Baron picked up by EVOS. And that should be the game, frankly. With 2 inhibitors open, it's very, very hard for Alliance to hold.
We'll see, though, because EVOS... Valdez right now is working towards the bottom portion of the map already to make sure that no split push openings will happen coming from Alliance. The fact that Alliance already basically gave up on the teleport because it's basically just used by Raven, the cooldown's just going to be off, might as well lock in this Zhonya's Hourglass. So we'll have to see if Alliance is able to win the next fight, which is very difficult with the lead that EVOS Esports has.
Dive in. Oh, Jelson
Arrow.
in the front lines. He's already dead. A big pickup for G4, and the Mega Inferno Bomb chunks away at SSK and the rest of Alliance as they run for their lives. It's a re-engage from CWJ, and it does not hold back Dipper, who just dives in. Valdez past him! Double kill to Valdez. A complete wipe, and Alliance are shattered. EVOS take game 1.
EVOS, again, very reminiscent of their summer